There's a sense of cautious optimism building across the country, a feeling that we might just be on the cusp of something significant. It's a familiar Canadian story, one of vast distances, and the perennial challenge of connecting our provinces to build a stronger nation. Right now, a new chapter is being written. At the heart of this renewed push is a landmark agreement between two of our economic powerhouses, Ontario and Alberta. Premier Doug Ford and Premier Danielle Smith are set to finalize a plan that many believe could reshape our economic landscape for generations to come. It's a big, bold vision for a new Canadian future. The core of their agreement is the creation of a strategic corridor, a network designed to move our energy and goods more freely from coast to coast. Think of it as a modern-day railway but for the 21st century. The plan includes the potential for new pipelines to carry our resources, upgraded highways to transport our products, and enhanced ports to open up new markets to the world. For too long, we've been dependent on our southern neighbor, sending our resources south only to have them rerouted. This initiative aims to change that fundamental dynamic, fostering true economic independence for Canada. This ambitious project is not happening in a vacuum. It's supported by a critical piece of federal legislation. The One Canadian Economy Act, which officially came into force just last year, is designed to tear down the stubborn and often nonsensical trade barriers that exist between our provinces. These internal hurdles have made it easier in some cases to trade with another country than with a neighboring province. This new act provides the legal framework needed to make a truly integrated national economy a reality, rather than just an aspiration spoken about in political speeches. It's a foundational step toward realizing our full potential. Premier Ford has been methodically laying the groundwork for this moment. Before the agreement with Alberta, his government had already secured similar strategic partnerships with Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and the Atlantic provinces of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. A powerful coalition is forming, a bloc of provinces ready to work together for mutual benefit. They see the immense value in creating a seamless economic union. This growing momentum from the provinces is now putting the spotlight on the federal government to match their ambition and provide the necessary support for these large-scale infrastructure projects. Despite the growing consensus, the path to a fully unified Canadian economy is not without its obstacles. Significant challenges remain, particularly on our western and eastern flanks. In British Columbia, Premier David Eby has expressed serious reservations about the prospect of a new pipeline crossing his province. His stance is rooted in a pragmatic skepticism, questioning the economic case for such a project. He argues that if a new pipeline were truly a profitable venture, private companies would already be lining up to invest their own capital without the need for public funds to get it off the ground. Premier Eby's concerns go beyond just the economics. They touch on the responsible use of taxpayer dollars. He points to the existing Trans Mountain Pipeline, a project the federal government purchased to ensure its completion, and notes that it is not yet operating at its full capacity. From his perspective, committing federal money to another pipeline before the first one is fully utilized seems premature and fiscally questionable. This position from British Columbia is a major hurdle, as access to West Coast ports is absolutely critical for moving Alberta's resources and other Canadian goods to lucrative markets across the Pacific. While the focus recently has been on British Columbia, we cannot forget the historical reluctance of Quebec. The province has, in the past, shown strong opposition to eastbound pipeline projects, such as the now-defunct Energy East proposal. These projects were seen as a way to bring Western oil to eastern refineries and ports, but they faced immense public and political resistance within Quebec due to environmental concerns. Though Quebec's current premier has not been as vocal on this latest initiative, the province's history suggests that securing its support for a coast-to-coast energy corridor will be a delicate and challenging diplomatic task for all involved. For Alberta's Premier Danielle Smith, navigating these provincial dynamics has become a top priority. She has openly acknowledged that gaining the cooperation of British Columbia is essential to the success of her province's economic strategy, and by extension, the broader national vision. Without a clear path to the coast, Alberta's vast resources remain constrained, limiting their value and the economic benefits that could flow to the rest of the country. This makes the upcoming discussions between the premiers not just a political meeting, but a critical test of our ability to overcome regional differences for the greater national good. As the provinces work to align their ambitions, the federal government is also beginning to take concrete steps to support this national vision. Internal Trade Minister Chrystia Freeland has announced that Ottawa is committed to removing all of its own internal trade barriers, leading by example to encourage the provinces to follow suit. This is a significant move, signaling that the federal government is serious about dismantling the patchwork of regulations that has stifled interprovincial commerce for decades. It's an acknowledgement that a more prosperous Canada is a more united Canada, where goods, services, and people can move freely across provincial borders. This federal backing is precisely what proponents of the strategic corridor have been calling for. Premier Ford has been particularly vocal in his calls for Prime Minister Mark Carney to provide robust federal support for the large-scale infrastructure projects at the heart of the plan. Building new pipelines, highways, and ports requires immense capital investment, and federal partnership is seen as essential to getting these transformative projects off the ground. The hope is that with both provincial and federal governments pulling in the same direction, we can finally undertake the nation-building projects that have been talked about for so long. The timing for this national conversation could not be more critical. In just a couple of weeks, from July 21st to the 23rd, all of Canada's premiers will gather in Huntsville, Ontario, for the annual Council of the Federation meeting. This summit is shaping up to be one of the most important in recent memory. It will be the key forum where this vision for a unified Canadian economy will be debated and hopefully advanced. It presents a rare opportunity for all provincial leaders to sit down together and hash out a plan that benefits every region of the country, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. All eyes will be on this meeting. It will be a test of leadership, compromise, and national will. Can our premiers rise above their regional interests to forge a common path forward? The agreements already signed by a majority of provinces provide a strong foundation, but the success of the entire enterprise hinges on achieving a broader consensus. The Huntsville meeting will be the moment where we find out if this hopeful vision can be translated into a concrete, unified national plan, or if it will once again be stalled by regional divisions. The stakes are incredibly high for our collective future. We stand at a crossroads. The potential for a stronger, more self-reliant Canada is within our grasp. The framework for a single, dynamic Canadian economy is being built, piece by provinces willing to look beyond their own borders. The partnership between Ontario and Alberta, supported by a growing number of provinces, is the engine driving this movement forward. The federal government's commitment to dismantling trade barriers adds crucial momentum. Now, the success of this great national project rests on the shoulders of those who are still on the sidelines. It is a moment that calls for statesmanship and a shared sense of purpose. This is a direct appeal to the leadership in British Columbia and Quebec. We understand the concerns, they are valid and deserve to be heard. Environmental protection and responsible fiscal management are priorities for all Canadians, but we must also recognize the immense opportunity before us. Joining this national effort does not have to mean abandoning principles. It means coming to the table to help shape a plan that works for everyone. It means finding a way to balance economic prosperity with environmental stewardship, ensuring that the benefits of our resources are shared by all Canadians, now and in the future. The upcoming Council of the Federation meeting in Huntsville is more than just a routine gathering. It is a chance to define our country for the 21st century. It is an opportunity to prove that our confederation is more than just a collection of disparate regions, but a true economic and political union capable of achieving great things together. We can build these corridors, strengthen our supply chains, and secure our place in a competitive global market. But we can only do it if we are united. Let us hope that all our leaders arrive in Huntsville ready to build bridges, not walls. There is reason for hope, but it is a reserved, Canadian kind of hope. We have seen grand national projects falter before, yet something about this moment feels different. There is a pragmatic determination in the air, a recognition that in a turbulent world we are stronger together. The future of Canada's prosperity depends on the decisions made in the coming weeks. Let us urge our leaders to seize this moment and choose the path of unity and cooperation. Our collective future depends on it. Thank you for reading. Please subscribe to our channel, and I'd be very interested to read your thoughts on this in the comments below.